Hello everyone! Today me and this little one, who is currently munching, are going to do a really short video explaining how Clara, who is now 10 weeks old, has dual citizenship. She's both German and she's Canadian. Now she was born here in Canada on October 10th, and by being born here and having one parent who is Canadian, she received the Canadian citizenship. She was born in a hospital here, so within a week we registered her birth with Canada. We received her social insurance number, her health card, and all of that works online. It's very simple. You can do like this process where you do it all in one. So her Canadian citizenship and receiving all of her Canadian papers was pretty straightforward. The only thing that was a little bit more effort is getting her Canadian passport, which we've already applied for simply because we're going to be traveling in a couple of months. And then we're going to need her passport, obviously. And the issue there was that they need a picture. Now, it's pretty crazy to take a picture of essentially, she was at the time, I think, a newborn still. She's not going to look anything like that when we actually travel, but she's getting a biometric passport, so they needed pictures, and it took us a while to get good pictures, but we managed. So that was really the only hurdle, essentially, for getting her Canadian papers. Now, her German citizenship, she received because I am German. According to paragraph 4, section 1 of the German citizenship law, a child born to a German parent abroad, so outside of Germany, automatically receives German citizenship. There's one exception to that rule for Germans who were born outside of Germany, giving birth to a child outside of Germany after 2000, so after the year, I think January 1st, 2000, they are an exception to that rule, so they do not automatically give their children their German citizenship. But because I was A, born in Germany, and B, was born before 2000, she automatically received German citizenship, even though she was born here in Canada. Now, in order to get her papers, it was a little bit more effort, because we actually needed to go to the general consulate in Toronto. Now there's one in Toronto and one in Vancouver, so you can go to either one, I guess. But we had to go there. Now luckily we live reasonably close. It's just about a 4-hour drive to get there. So we have already done this. So the first thing that we did was to register her birth officially with the German government. So essentially that's what's called a Geburtsanzeige. We had to make a separate appointment for that, so we went and we saw a lady working there at the consulate, and we all, so that means me, her dad, and her, like Clara herself, had to actually be present, and we brought all of the required documentation. That includes the Abmeldebestätigung in Germany, so a certificate that says that I no longer live in Germany. And a bunch of other things like passports, a birth certificate. So we brought all of that and essentially officially declared that another German citizen was born. And it's important that you actually also bring your Abmeldebestätigung, essentially that document that says, okay, I'm deregistering that in Germany. Because in order to get the birth certificate for the child, you are actually applying in the town where you last lived. And it's just a strange rule. So essentially, if I hadn't lived in Germany before, if I was a German born outside of Germany, then Berlin would be responsible. But because I was born in Germany, the town where I was last registered is responsible for issuing the documents to my daughter. The other thing that we did was we also applied for a children's passport for her. Now you have two options. You can either apply for a biometric passport or you can apply for a children's passport. We opted to apply for a children's passport simply because she's already getting biometric Canadian passport, and the German children's passport is actually one where the picture can be replaced over the years. Since these passports are good for 6 years, it kind of makes sense to have one that where you can update the picture and it actually represents what your child looks like. So that was our reasoning anyway. Now, if you only have the Canadian, or sorry, the German passport, it makes sense to get a biometric one, but because we have a Canadian and a German one, we chose to go for the children's passport. And that was a separate appointment that we had to book in Toronto. I hope this was interesting to some of you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!